Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, and that means that we're hanging out. Yes, I'm so excited to be with all of you. Hi, Florian. Wow, it's late in Germany, isn't it, right now? Okay, so I have a lot of screens open, and I just want to make sure that everything is working. We're also streaming on Twitch. And last time I realized I didn't see the Twitch comments, so I want to make sure that I see those. What's up, George? You're still awake. Are you chilling right now with the iPhone? I love the fact that you still made it. Wow. Hi, Gareth. All right, we're going live on Instagram too. So check it out, everybody. I made a little track today. Hi, Instagram. We're live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. And I figured that I would play my own intro music because why not, right? I made the music and I might as well play it for you since I made it today. Um, if it's not good, well, it's a work in progress. Let's see. Sunny Sundays, or should I say stormy Sundays, with you hanging out, live streaming with you. On YouTube Live and Facebook Live and Instagram Live and my friends on Twitch. It goes like this. I said sunny Sundays or stormy Sundays or romantic evening Sundays. Ooh. Guys, I just realized that I bounced that track that I made today with the metronome still in it. Did anybody hear that? Am I the only one who heard that? If I'm the only one who did, then I just gave it away. And maybe you just thought it was extra percussion. In any case, I made that little jam today. Thank you for those YouTube comments saying that you dug it. Um, that's very kind of you. I think it's funky. Glad to know you guys think it's funky as well. Hello, Clayton and Mario, and friends on Instagram. Dennis, John, thank you for always tuning in. It's so great to see your name always. So I used to always say sunny Sundays, but I realized that now that we're at, it's nighttime, it's more like romantic Sundays or evening Sundays with Grace Kelly. I feel like I need to put my late DJ voice on, and for some reason it's a British accent. Oh boy. Well, we have some people tuned in on Twitch as well. So, friends, it has been a fun week. Time is flying. I cannot believe that we are in September. What? How did that happen? Do you guys know how that happened? Can anyone believe that we're in September? Oh, George, you heard the metronome. Oh boy. Can you tell that I'm a producer in training. Also, I did that first thing in the morning when I wasn't quite awake. Which, by the way, if anybody's interested, the program I use to put that together is Arcade. They just rolled out, Output just rolled out a new service called Arcade, and there's a lot of cool sound samples. So I'm trying it out right now. The other thing that has been catching my ear lately is sounds.com. They have a lot of really cool samples. They're brand new, and I think I'm actually going to be working with them in the very near future to be creating a Grace Kelly sound sample library. And sounds.com is affiliated with Native Instruments, which has some of the greatest sounds for film composing and for producing music. All right. Let's see. Hi, Haley. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. I love it. You guys are already asking questions. Please ask away. Haley's saying, I'm mainly a clarinet player and I haven't played sax in a while. Do you have any advice on how to get back into it after a while? That is a great question. So I think, do we have any other clarinet players, by the way? If anyone has, definitely send a little heart. First of all, that's amazing that you play clarinet. I think that is the hardest instrument, hands down. I started with clarinet and it scarred me, and then I went to saxophone, and then I slowly got back to clarinet, but I barely call myself a clarinetist. I think you're at a complete advantage, actually, starting with a clarinet because that instrument is a lot more demanding as far as technically there's a lot of squeaking and your embouchure, so I think you're in a really great place to transition back into the saxophone. I think when you transition back, just take it kind of slow in the way that, don't start practicing saxophone for like 8 hours a day the first day, but just you want to kind of transition your embouchure and start slow, get back into it. But I think actually playing clarinet and saxophone simultaneously is a fantastic thing. All of my fellow saxophonists who play clarinet and who study classical clarinet and technique have such a stellar technique. So good luck. Keep me posted on it. Somebody's saying, oh, we have a contrabass clarinetist in the house. Love it. It's epic Garner sax time. Nice. Mr. Tolliver on YouTube. I do not know if I'm going to be, I don't think I'm scheduled to be in Vegas anytime soon. My booking agent is the one who would probably know 100% if that is true, but the last time we were in Vegas, we played at the Smith Center, which is gorgeous. I just loved being there. And then we went to, meaning me and my band, went out and hit the town. My boyfriend was in town as well. He came to meet me, and we did the things you do in Vegas. We had fun. And we went to some amazing restaurants for dinner. Wow, that is such a foodie place. Hi, Clayton. Mike, fall is heading to winter, which cancels it being the best. Oh my gosh. So I have to say that fall is like my favorite. I just love the crispness in the air. And I also love the fact that the leather jackets can come out and that wardrobe can change. Do you guys know this song? The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. Since you went away, the days grow long, but soon I'll hear old winter's song. Mike, you were just talking about that. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. So I love autumn. I have kind of sometimes I'm really excited about the wardrobe change. I have to say, when I was living in Los Angeles, I love the fact that I could always just go out in the same summer dress. But being back on the East Coast, it's exciting because you kind of like sift through your stuff and, different colors come out. And I love colors. So I'm really excited for fall. It hit me. I wasn't checking the weather the other day, and my boyfriend and I went out, and I was out in a summer dress, and it was freezing. So, anyways, um, I am now looking at the weather. Also, this coming week, I think I'm going to see another saxophonist that you guys probably know. I'm not going to give it away yet, but we've done some stuff together in the past. And I think the weather's looking good for us because we might do some things outside. Fred Taylor Scholarship Fund, my alto is underneath me. I have it. I'm going to pull it out. By the way, Instagram friends, you guys have probably heard me say this before, but if you want to hear the full sound whenever I play with tracks and all that, you need to go to YouTube or Facebook because Instagram is just getting sound off my phone. But in any case, you could join us there. I'm glad you are here. Yes, good old Billy. I'm assume you mean Billie Holiday, Stephen. Yeah? So anyways, my friends, time has been flying, like I was saying. And here we are in September. I have some really exciting news that I wanted to share with all of you. And for those of you who are on my email list, you probably already got an email about it. So I am the cover girl for this month's Jazz Ed magazine, and it's quite an honor. I'm so flattered. It meant a lot to me when they initially, Jazz Ed reached out to me about doing this cover, being their cover girl, and I sat down to do a really in-depth interview with them. And you guys can find that article on my website, gracekellymusic.com. I personally really love this interview that I've done with them because I literally sat down with Brian, the writer, for like 2 hours. And he had so many great questions prepared for me, kind of all the way back from when I first started in music when I was 12 years old. And my whole musical journey up to this point, and then what I'm looking forward to in the future. And so we sat over a cup of tea and dumplings and we talked and we really got into it. And there were some great questions about my advice for aspiring musicians and for students and my process. And so that article's up. It's like 5 pages, and I talk about my days at the Berklee College of Music and my time at the Late Show with Steve Colbert and how all of that happened. So I hope you guys will check it out on my website. Tell me what you think of it. I'm a big fan of jazz education. On my time that I am home, I love to teach Skype lessons and to answer all of your great questions. I am delighted that so many of you tune in live because this is definitely a time where I feel like we can get to a lot of the questions. I know a lot of friends on Instagram have been messaging me, and I am a little slow sometimes getting back to those answers, but believe me, I'm delighted to read them and to know there's so many saxophone friends out there who are doing your thing. So yeah, this time together in the live stream is golden hour for me. I love getting to hang with all of you and hear your questions and just like talk about life. So the other really exciting news that came out this week, and I don't know if it's been officially announced, but there's a big competition called the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. You guys might have heard of this guy, John Lennon. Have you heard of him? Anyways, I literally grew up listening to the Beatles and Stan Getz. I had a very eclectic soundtrack to my childhood. But I love the Beatles, and John Lennon is one of my favorite songwriters. And I actually won one of the categories in the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. I won in the country category, guys. So this is a really big online competition. They have some celebrity guest judges who listened to the songs, and I was completely blown away and shocked when I heard the news. So, one of my songs called Feels Like Home, which you guys may have seen on YouTube. Suddenly I'm falling 1,000 stories high. The chorus goes, wait, that's not the key. Cause you feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. That's a song of mine that actually it won in the country category. And I think they're going to announce the official press release in the news very soon. But I'm honored, and the winner of the grand prize, which is what this is, gets a bunch of recording swag, equipment. I'm so excited. Just like a lot of toys and wow, I'm excited to see, like, I think there's a bunch of Yamaha swag and speakers and microphones. It's like the first time I've like ever won something that has like all this cool equipment and all that. So, I am going to be hitting all of you up in the future because they pick like 12 grand prize finalists for every genre. And then later in 2019, it's going to open up for voting from all of you to vote for Song of the Year. And that would be insane to win that. And that's like, yeah, it's all up to you guys of voting for the song. So I will keep you posted. And if you want to know more about all that, you can go to my website and sign up for the mailing list, which, by the way, is going to have, I'm revamping the mailing list to be like a really special VIP one where you'll get exclusive videos and saxophone tips and just like a lot of cool fun stuff. I'm really trying to think about how to make it the specialist. If you guys have any ideas, or if you want to put in your 2 cents on what would make it the specialist, then comment. Please let me know. I'm really excited to revamp that. So yeah, it was like crazy to literally find out that I had won in a country category. I have to tell you guys that I am not a trained songwriter, and I mean I've trained on the saxophone. I've literally went to Berklee College of Music and got my degree in professional music, and have been taking music lessons, mainly jazz lessons, jazz theory, saxophone, vocal lessons since I was in middle school. But the one thing I really did not get any formal training in is songwriting. And the reason why all these years I've continued to write songs is because I honestly, I love to express myself through songs. By the way, Kenzie, I'm seeing this comment of yours. If you're interested in Skype lessons, you can email me on my website. My email is very simple. It's just my name at my website. And that's how we can talk about that. Okay, so back to songwriting. So it really means a lot to me to, not that I think anyone should base anything just around awards. To me, the most touching thing is actually hearing from all of you about a song of mine. If you guys say that you love it, like that means the world to me. But it definitely feels like it's definitely a thing to get, a little nudge and an award from the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. And so I aspire to writing more country songs and jazz songs and pop songs. I've literally had people in the past kind of tell me that I'm not a songwriter. And I remember, because I started from such a young age, it was a hard thing when I was younger to read reviews that weren't, that negative reviews. Not that they happened often, but, it's just like my art and performance feels so personal to me and I know that every time a review comes out or all these comments, like, it's everybody's opinion, and you guys are the best fans and friends in the world. Thank you so much for the support. But there's definitely been moments where I read a negative review and I got really self-conscious, or I heard from somebody that I should focus more on the saxophone and not on songwriting or on singing. And it always felt really weird to me because music is expression, and it doesn't really matter to me whether it's just through the saxophone or just through songwriting or voice. Like, literally, if I don't do it and if I don't write the song, I'm going to fall apart. Well, actually, that's kind of true. In very emotional times, I literally need to write a song because it's actually like therapy for me, whether I'm very happy or I'm really sad or I just met somebody, or I fell in love, or I was inspired by something. I need to get that out. So I have to say to all of you, musicians and creatives out there, if you have a calling in your heart and you want to express that thing, even if you don't think that people aren't saying that that's what your thing is, then just do it anyways, because you should do whatever makes you feel great and whatever makes you feel like you're expressing, and put it out there to people. And it doesn't really matter what other people say, or if they have an opinion on it that's negative. The most important thing is that you keep doing it and that you keep crafting that new skill. And as long as you're enjoying it, then that's, and it means something to you, and 100% it will reach some people out there. And I'm very grateful to all of you guys for literally giving such amazing feedback online, and watching my videos and commenting and supporting me in the new project on Pledge Music. I couldn't do it without all of you and an amazing team. So I'm feeling incredibly grateful. That news about the Songwriting Award was like totally out of the blue, and yeah, so that's that spiel, Thank you guys. Your comments are so sweet. Yeah. So I noticed the other day that I actually have to open a new tab to see YouTube comments. So I want to make sure I'm not missing you guys. I think I'm seeing them. La 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 la. Thank you, Dylan, saying he loves my fish and chips video. I've never played it on soprano before. There we go. Hi, Firestar. Thanks for tuning in. So the other thing that dropped this week on YouTube is a new pop-up video. As always, they come out weekly. I've been loving the comments that you guys have left on this one. This week's is very silly. It's a silly, silly video. Had so much fun recording it. We did one take, and I ran around, and we played hide and seek with the saxophone. And if you haven't seen it, go over to YouTube and check it out. Let me know what you think. And also, while you're there, subscribe so you can get a notification whenever I put out new videos, which is every week and will be quite often coming up. So that way you will never miss a live stream or a new video. Thank you, Glenn. I'm so glad you got to check it out. Yes, the song is Pop Goes the Weasel. And it's definitely improvised in the pop-up. I go through a bunch of different keys. So yeah, that's the newest content out there. And I've had some really good questions this past week from some of you on social media, and I jotted a few of them down. As always, you are more than welcome to comment with some questions now that I will try to get to, and go forth with all the song suggestions. I love it. Hi, Wonderland. Thank you for catching me live. Clayton, that was an amazing moment. It really, really was. And hi, friends on Twitch. It's so cool to see you guys tuned in. Thank you so much for joining us. So one question that I wanted to talk about is someone asked, how do you prepare for gigs? So at this point now, my core band has been with me for quite a few years, and we are at the point in my live performances that my band members are totally off book. And it's an incredible freeing thing for me as a band leader because I'm able to go on stage, and if I'm feeling like changing my set list in the moment, I can literally look back at my band and say, we're going to play Miss You, change it around, and get a head nod, and we're in it. Even more free. Ooh, how about that? It's even more of a pleasure and freedom to literally start going into a song. Sometimes in live performances, if I decide to just in the moment switch things up, I'll just start playing. I'll start after a song, people are like applauding, and I'll literally just transition with my saxophone. And then all of a sudden, my drummer will start playing Ross on drums, and we'll go into. So there you go. That's one of my favorite things of getting to be in a live performance is basically feel the energy of the audience in front of me. There are some performances where I walk out on stage and literally like the energy is sky high and we just hit, and we, meaning me and my band, we hit hard. And then there's other times that I walk out and I kind of feel the energy of the crowd, and it might start in more of a quiet place and then we build that dynamic through the set. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to have a band that, is ready to kind of go in with whatever and switch up the songs and be on one's toes. And I think as a band leader, especially when one is playing jazz, it's a beautiful thing to be able to really integrate improvisation into one set. I remember when I was working as a sideman with John Batiste, he would often change his set list up. He'd change it up in TV land and he'd change it up in live performances. So, as the musician on stage, it's really exciting because you just never know what's coming. And I think that should always be the best that's the best case scenario of being in a musical setting where you just never know what's coming, and I'm reacting to the music, I'm reacting to the crowd, reacting to the band. That's where the magical moments happen. Noah, thank you for tuning in from Instagram. Now you're on YouTube. I love it. Hello, Donaldo. Let me answer some questions here. Okay. Somebody on Instagram is asking if I can come teach in can you come teach the saxes in my band? Oh, I wish I could. I wish I just could go over and do that. Maybe soon I'll be able to just teleport and do that. That sounds fun. John, the soprano mouthpiece. John's asking what model it is. My soprano mouthpiece is a Van Doren mouthpiece, and I endorse all of the Van Doren swag. I love their ligatures and their reeds. I play the blue box size 2.5 soprano reeds. I'm so it's hilarious. I'm really not a saxophone gearhead at all, like to the point where I literally forget what I'm playing and I have to look on the mouthpiece. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing that I don't know this. And of course I can't find I can't see it on the mouthpiece. Send me an email and I'll let you know, John. It also might be listed on Van Doren's website. I can tell you my alto mouthpiece. That's also a Van Doren, and it's an A8S Plus from their V16 line, and I love it. I kind of have this rule with gear of if I try it out and it sounds good, then I stick with it. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed if there's too many options, and so I almost prefer that there's literally like 5 mouthpieces in front of me, and I just try one by one, and then I take them home and I just play those 5. And if none of those 5 work, then I'll go back and I'll get another 5. But it's a lot better in my loony brain to just kind of go through it systematically in small batches versus taking home like 20 mouthpieces. Somebody is requesting an Ed Sheeran song. I gotta slow that down for it to be funky. That's a little Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, in a couple different tempos. That's a great song request. Thank you. I have never played a contra clarinet. I would love to try that. Somebody's asking if I've ever played a bass. I have not played a bass sax. I would love to try. I've seen the YouTube videos of these freaking huge bass saxophones, and I think you have to like bring it in with a truck. I mean, they're huge. Huge! If you guys have not seen a bass saxophone, you definitely need to Google it. It's pretty crazy, the YouTube videos that are out there. I remember like sending a video to one of my music friends when I first saw it, and we were just like, ah! Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, and we got some great friends commenting. Mark, you had me on your podcast today. Oh, that's cool. Was it my music, or was it, what podcast were you listening to? Clayton, playing with Billy Cobham was pretty insane, and literally getting to talk to him and hear his road stories was amazing. Glenn, Harry Bosch, yes, Harry is, he is the coolest cat. He is the coolest cat out there. Hi, Damien on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in. You know what, guys? I am going to actually pull up a little, let me see. I can pull up a little loop action because I think it's way more fun to kind of jam with some drums on the on the computer. So again, on Instagram, if you guys are listening, you will not be able to hear this, but if you go over to YouTube or Facebook, you will be able to hear it. What? GarageBand has a sample called Brushing Teeth. Do you guys want to hear this? Okay, this is a sound sample. Here we go. I have no idea. This is a disclaimer. I have no idea how this is about to sound. Oh my God. Oh, it's 26 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to let that play, everybody. I'm looking for drum loops. That is hysterical. Does anyone think that's funny? Maybe I'm the only one. Okay. Hey. Yes, so if you guys have any song requests, definitely leave them below. Thank you for the hearts on Instagram. I'm glad you thought that tooth brushing sound was pretty funny. It's amazing the sound samples that you can find on GarageBand and Logic. There's some very wacky cinematic songs. So I was talking about preparing for gigs. So I feel like I just told you a story about when I'm actually performing on stage. But the question was, how do you prepare for gigs? So I think it's really important to literally practice the song. If I have a new song that I'm working on, I will be at home in the practice room and I will work out literally. I will practice that song until it feels like it's part of my blood. If I'm dancing to it, I will go in front of a mirror and I will choreograph and I'll work on moves. I think in the case that I do dance and I'm playing and I'm singing, it's actually really important for me to practice all of the elements separately until I get it to the point where they all feel very comfortable. And then I bring them all together. But I will separately have like a saxophone practice session and a singing session and a dance session. My number one goal for when I perform is to be completely free and to just like vibe with you guys on stage. And in many times I like to also get off the stage and vibe with you out in the crowd if I can get to you. So I strongly believe that all the practicing and the scale work that's what you do at home. And then when that beautiful opportunity of getting on stage comes on, the best thing that I look forward to is turning my brain off and just feeling. I love to just feel the music in the moment. Sometimes it has its challenges because, if we're touring and it's like a long tour and I'm tired and jet lagged and, maybe sound check ran long and didn't get to have dinner. There's like a lot of extra elements that I can't always control. But in the best case scenarios when the music is flying sky high and are getting love from the audience, then it's a truly joyous moment of being able to turn off my brain and just turn on the heartbeat and the feelings. I think the thing that I love so much about being in a live performance, whether I'm playing or whether I'm watching somebody, is just like to get fully enveloped in emotions and feelings and just like let my imagination go wild and enjoy that moment without thinking about any other worries or things. In that moment, it's just all about being there together. Oh, Dale's requesting a little Take the A Train. A little Take the A Train. That's Little Black Orpheus for Glenn, an improvised version. Love, love, love that you mentioned that one. I haven't played that song in a long while. I had some other great questions from this week. Somebody was asking how I prepare for a new album and getting ready to hit the studio. So I think that writing for a new album is one of the most exciting things. I love turning on that part of my brain that basically gets 100% back into creative mode. I feel like I have a few different modes. I have performance mode where I'm like, if I'm doing a lot of touring, like the number one thing that I'm thinking about is just like having enough energy to perform, strengthening, all of the technical practice stuff on the vocal cords and the saxophone, staying in shape, eating healthy. Like, honestly, touring can be so physically draining that the number one thing is just keeping the energy level up, because we play a pretty high energy show and I love that. And so when we're hitting it night after night, that's performance mode for me. And the other mode is writing mode and getting ready for an album. And so usually I like to pick a time in my schedule where there's not as much gigging happening, or maybe there's just some gigs on the weekend, but it's a time I could just like hunker down and totally become a hermit crab. Sometimes I don't go out for days and I'm just like in the studio, in the home studio, or I might go out for like an inspirational walk. I don't know if you guys ever do this, where if you're trying to take a break and you're working on something, you'll just go out for a walk and just eavesdrop on people. But I find it can be very inspirational. I promise it's not creepy. It's not like I'm staring at people and like walking up really close to them being like, "What did you say?" No, it's actually just like I've learned in my creative process, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. If you're creators, sometimes you just hit a roadblock. Like, it can be working on a song and um, I just can't find the next line. And I used to do this thing where, well, I still do it a lot, but I would just like try to power through and be like, gotta get this line, I gotta get this line, and just force something out. And I remember I was working with a friend of mine who's a great songwriter, and he said, nah, you gotta just take a walk outside, walk around the room. Like, that's the moment that you need to actually just clear your brain, and then the musical answer will come. So I've been trying to integrate that now when I'm in super hermit mode and I'm writing and something's just not coming. I like to take some breaks and do something else for a minute, maybe clean up or draw something or take a walk outside, watch some YouTube videos, anything that kind of gets another piece of my brain working. And then, wildly enough, and it happens a lot when I'm walking or I'm in transportation, like when I'm on the train, I get a lot of ideas, or when I am getting ready in the morning, taking a shower, like brushing my teeth, I get a lot of musical inspiration. So if you're feeling stuck, I highly recommend singing while you brush your teeth. Yes, the toothbrush thing has become a little bit of a it's becoming a little bit of a thing in our live stream, since maybe it's because I played that sound on GarageBand of the guy brushing his teeth, and now I'm just talking about brushing my teeth. That's a very helpful thing to just kind of put the creative gear in another mode. So, yes, there's the performance mode, there's the writing mode, and I try to soak up as much inspiration as possible when I'm getting ready to write an album. And I also try to just go out and experience more life than usual. So I really feel like songs and the inspiration for songs come up in living life. I might have a conversation with somebody that literally sparks an idea, or see a beautiful sunset and it makes me feel a certain way. I never know what it is. I've literally written songs about so many different things. So, Wonderland is saying I'm a toothbrush freak. I like the teeth clean. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is one big chunk of how I get ready for writing an album. What else do you guys want to hear? What other song requests do we have? I could put on some other beats. What's this one? Hey, ah, Instagram, you have no idea what I'm doing, 'cause you can't hear it, 'cause you can only hear it on the other streaming places. Guys, this is a little look into my rapping career. So I'm going to get a little nerdy for a moment, and I like to talk about a musical thing in our live streams together. I know some of you are musicians and artists, and some of you are music lovers, which, believe me, we need all of you and all your energy, right? Am I right? For all my artist friends out there, it's so, so important to have people who will listen, and in this case, the greatest friends and fans in the world. So, for my artist friends out there who are working on improvisation, I know I got a lot of questions on Instagram coming in about how to best practice improvisation. Something that I like to do is literally find a loop on GarageBand or on Logic, Pro Tools, whatever program you work with. Anybody can download GarageBand if you have a computer with the App Store. And just put that loop on repeat and hit the record button. Even if you have a very simple microphone, you know, like when you get the iPhone Apple Buds, a lot of times there's a microphone in that. You could literally use that and hook it up to your computer. And just press the record button and start to solo. And don't really think about too much. Just go for it. Solo with a bunch of stuff. I would also say, like, leave some space while you're soloing, and also try to approach the solo with a bunch of different ideas. So I might play something very rhythmic for the first like 8 bars, and then might play some more like whole notes in the next 8 bars, and just try different themes. Let's see. There is. Let me give you an example of this. I didn't check out any of these loops before, so if they sound hilarious, then ooh, that's really slow. Guys, that's really slow. Oh wow. Okay, for some reason I'm looking at some loops that are, yeah, not so peppy. I don't know why. Okay, let's see what this is. So I would put a loop on, and then I would literally just solo on it. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties, but I can explain this without actually doing the example. So you record yourself, and after you record yourself, literally listen back and try to find any moments that sound like a riff, like a 1-bar catchy riff. Maybe it's something like, or maybe it's like, you know, it could really be anything, but I would try to find a short phrase. Then I would cut that up in GarageBand, and I would paste it on, and then start to stack a bunch of saxophone of your own horns on top of it. You could play that line up a third and then down a third, and then all of a sudden, bam, you have harmony. And this is a fantastic way to start writing a song. If you literally have no inspiration for a song, that's what I recommend. It's what I've been trying to do recently. Just get the creative blood flowing. And the thing I love a lot about this way of doing it is we're celebrating improvisation. And sometimes when I go in to record something and I think I have a very structured way of how it's going to go. I end up messing up. I do that a lot. But if I go in literally just improvising, I come up with something that I would have never thought of, and it's so much better. So I say try that out and let me know how it goes. Do we have any other song ideas? Stella Star. I don't know if I know that one. I did that cover of the Fifth Harmony song "Worth It" with Postmodern Jukebox. That was a while ago that we did that song. Yeah. That's a little bit of 'cause baby, I'm worth it. Don't you know I'm worth it? Oh, baby, I'm worth it. Do 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 do. Don't you know that I'm worth it? It's funny, when I got the call to do that collaborative video with Postmodern Jukebox, I didn't know that song. I mean, I think I'd heard it on the radio, but I don't often know all of the pop songs on the charts, although I'm trying to learn more of them. So I literally had like 2 days to get ready for that recording session with Scott Bradley and Postmodern Jukebox. And that song has so many words, guys. It's pretty intense. And so there was probably a few moments that I just totally made up the words. And when Scott and Postmodern Jukebox were celebrating 1 billion views, I came by and I was part of their live stream. And I had no idea what I was going to do with him. He just kind of said, like, come by, it's going to be awesome. And then I was in the bathroom and I hear him. And this was like a live stream that had no cuts and edits. They were just going. And I was in the bathroom and I hear Scott say, and Grace Kelly is up next. Just like, and he's like, Grace. And I was just like, oh my God. And my saxophone wasn't out and I didn't have my shoes on. So I ran out and literally like his producer was like, come on. And I had no idea what we were going to play. I kind of thought I would just like take a sax solo on something. And then Scott was like, so, how about a little Worth It? I know we did this one together a while ago. And I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And I hadn't sung a song in like a year. And I legitimately just made up words. You can find it on YouTube. It's the Postmodern Jukebox 1 billion live stream. And I'm just like, and I don't remember the words to this song. That was pretty funny. Yes. Oh, Stella by Starlight. That's probably what they meant. Whoever had said that great song request. Okay, so let's see. I actually I have some loops up because I think it could be kind of fun to play some of these song suggestions with some backing track vibes. By the way, how are you guys? How was your weekend? I always love hearing all about it. And I love that we're here on Sunday. It seems like nighttime is a better time. That's a little bit of Stella by Starlight. I love it. A song a robin sings. I don't know if those are the words. You're everything to me. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was a few other really good questions from this week. Oh, can you guys hear that? Ooh, so this is a little bit of that sampler arcade, and they have some really cool sound libraries. So I can literally, as we're talking right now, make a little thing. Mike, you're saying your weekend was too short? I feel ya. So the really cool thing about this sampler is you just kind of play different notes and all these different sounds come out, and then you can make your own tracks. And they have all these effects that go with it too. Can you guys see on Facebook and YouTube? Can you see my fingers? That's basically what I'm doing. It looks like I have invisible fingers. Hi, Dendy's on Twitch. So cool. I'm excited to see some Twitch friends. Hello, Nuka Cola 85 on Twitch. Thank you for joining. Let's lay down some of this. So here you go, friends. I'm doing some real-time sampling for you. I'm going to turn the metronome off. My friend on Instagram, you can't hear it because Instagram is just on the phone, but if you go to my YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, you'll hear it there. So there we go. Okay, so that was a little bit of DJ Kelly, literally just kind of making a track. And if you guys give me some song suggestions right now, I'm going to play that back. And, oh no, I didn't press record. Did I press record? Oh, I did. Okay. Can you guys hear that? I'll try to play your song suggestions over what I just recorded. Hi, McFalafel. I'm glad you could catch the stream as well this week. Let's see if I can do Stars over Alabama. Oh, that would be cool. You're gonna have to go to YouTube, my Instagram friends. I literally can't, like, put it on the phone. There we go, it's Pink Panther. Hey, all right, so there we go, some real-time looping and some song requests in it. Ah. Instagram. I hate saying this every time, but they give me a time limit on Instagram, so it's going to shut down in 30 seconds, but we're still hanging out online on Facebook and YouTube. Twitch friend is saying, "Hey, how's it going? Have you tried the sax solo? I haven't tried that solo. I'm going to have to check it out. Really cool. Thanks for joining us here." Stars fell on Alabama last night. That song has some beautiful words too. Do 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 do. We kissed in a little white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. So the other thing I have in my studio, once in a while, I like to play this little uke baby. I don't know if it's in tune. Can you hear it? So I learned a few new chords on it, and it's been so fun to just get back to playing some other instruments and getting back to like that beginner curve. Uke is such a fun instrument to like just accompany myself and sing. I was working on that song. I think I sang a little bit for you guys last time. Or I can't help falling in love. Take my hand. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. Can you hear the uke? Shall I stay? That's not the right words. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. And then I learned the bridge with some bar chords. See if I can do it. Like a river flows gently to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Hi, Patrick. Good evening. Mike, yes, from Crazy Rich Asians. I fell in love with Kina Grandes' version. God, it's so beautiful. If you haven't heard her version, check it out. She takes my breath away. She seems like a really awesome person. I don't know her, but I'm a huge fangirl. So take my hand. Take my whole life too. 'Cause I can't help, my friends, falling in love with you. It's probably a good thing you can't hear the ukulele because there's a good amount of wrong chords going on right now. Hi, Bob. Oh, Pennies from Heaven. That's a great one. Patrick, good evening. Thanks for joining. So anyways, my little uke. Once in a while, I write some songs on her. I wrote a song a long while ago with one of my best friends that I still love. It's on one of my albums. It goes, ready, set, stay. Ready, set, don't go away. Ready, set, stay forever. Stay, stay. Ready, set, stay. Ready, set, love me all day. Stay forever. Stay. Does that sound familiar to any of you? My mom knows this one. Hit snooze, just 5 more minutes, please. You're such a sleepy head, but that works for me, Maybe we shouldn't sleep till noon, and we have things to do, but they can't wait, let's let them wait. Under the covers, wait for me. Ready, set, stay. Ready, set, don't go away. Ready, set, stay, forever stay, stay, stay. Ready, set, stay. Ready, set, love me all day. Stay forever, stay, stay, stay. There we go. That's my uke for the night. My friend and I wrote that song based upon a really cute phrase, ready, set, stay. And so then we came up with like a whole storyline about how we should just stay in bed all day and we should stay forever with the one you love. Thank you all for these great comments. Wow, we have a friend tuned in on YouTube from Japan. Nuka-Cola. I don't know that one. I'm going to have to learn it. You guys got some great song suggestions on Twitch. Thank you, Dennis, on YouTube. Yes, you guys got that song from before, Falling in Love with You. Grace Ukulele. Oh, my God. Franco, you win for pun of the night. By the way, for those of you who are still watching live, which, by the way, I'm like incredibly flattered that you're still with me here. I want to know your best sax pun jokes. Or no, sorry. Not your sax pun jokes. I want to know the best sax pun lines. Like, I'm feeling saxy. So saxy. Too saxy. I love sax. Like, I think that saxophone puns are so funny. And I'm thinking of creating some shirts with just some funny sax lingo. Would you guys be interested in wearing those? Because I would totally rock it. I know in past stream we came up with the I love my low A or something like that about the baritone. So you guys always have the best ideas, and whether you leave, great comments with song suggestions, but I also know that you guys are really wonderful at puns. So let's hear them. Sax puns. Here we go. If you need a moment to think about that, just comment after the live stream, and I'm literally going to be watching to see if any make me laugh out loud. I'm sure some will. The other day, a friend of mine was wearing a Sax Addict shirt. That was pretty cool. Nuka-Cola, I will check that out. Thank you. Sax on Fire. I haven't seen that. Yes, Too Saxy is a great one, Mom. Sexual healing. Oh God, they're coming in. Come on, guys. Let's just bring it. Let's just bring all the sax puns. I'm loving it. I want to get sax so funky. People love my tenor playing 10 or 12 miles down the road. Oh, this is great. Okay, so keep those coming and leave the comments for later as well. Let's see, what else is happening? There were some other great questions. Maybe before I go into the questions, I'm too saxy for my shirt. Max the Sax. You guys are this is so good. Michael, we're talking about the best sax puns to possibly put on some t-shirts. I know that you guys are feeling punny. So, and sax is a great one to get punny with. So, here we go. Grace Kelly DJ is going to spit some live beats for you right now as I record some new stuff. I'm having a lot of fun with this new program that I'm working with on Logic, and then I'll play over it. So let's see. I'll use that same sample library, and you guys keep punning it up. I'm reading. That sounds pretty heavy, huh? Hey. that's a wild one. Okay, so this is so good. I'm going to just read some of these saxy puns as I replay, and then I'll probably just solo over that. I was just like totally giggling as I was making that and as you guys were commenting. Here we go. This is some pretty heavy sounding sound library stuff. Sax machine! I wish you so much suck sax. Yes! Fill the cracks with sax from Gerald. This is, Franca, this is Arcade. It's a program from Output. I like it. Sounds.com is also a great one. How much do you pay for a saxophone? 10 or so. Ha! Let's see. Oh wait, how do I go back? I can't read the past comments. Oh my god, there were so many good ones. Okay, but I'm gonna find them. Saxifying. Raymond, that is a great one. McFalafel. Sax, hugs, rock and roll. I love it. By the way, McFalafel on YouTube. Do you like falafel? Is there a story with the falafel? There was an amazing pop-up flea market thing that happened outside my building the other day, and they just had like the incredible spread of there was like a German sausage station and falafels and just like some cute clothes. It was awesome. Too sexy for this shirt. I love it, Glenn. Raymond, your music is saxifying. Ah. John, is there too much sax and violin on television? Is that a question for me? Or I don't think there can ever be too much sax. Susan is saying sexuality is a turn on. That's right. If everyone could just celebrate their sexuality, right? Double viewing duty. Oh, hey, Patrick. Glad you're on Twitch as well. Yay. Okay. This is great. A Slack of phone. It's all about sax appeal. You guys, you're so on fire. Oh my gosh. I'm having so much fun. Literally, that is some of the best sax puns I have heard. I think you all need to be television writers, and you are brilliant, and you are so funny and punny. You are so punny. So I love it. And do you mind if I use some of these phrases? I will give you a shout out. This is fantastic. I should just always ask that we start live streams with sax puns. We're in it for the sax. Glad it's so good. We're always in trouble. I saw there was a couple comments about the treble. Yes, so good. Okay, so I wanted to also hit a couple other questions that came in this week and keep going with the sax puns because it's freaking awesome. Hi, Diego. You are totally in the thick of the best time of the live stream because we are coming up with sax puns right now. And I was telling people that they should bring out the best puns, and we already have like 30 amazing puns. Michael Steinberg saying, Grace Kelly, your music is saxifying. You're so awesome that you're alto this world. Oh my God. Dale, that is so good. Hi, sister. Sister, you came in a very good time for this live stream. We are coming up with sax puns, and everyone is, you guys are just rocking my world. Someone on YouTube is, wow, are you tuned in from, you're a classical sax player. This is so cool. We got friends from all around the globe. So, there was a question this week about someone was saying, what is one of your favorite road stories? I have a lot of on the road stories. There was a particular time, and the other part of the question was, what was one of the hardest, how did they phrase it? What was the hardest moment on tour? So there was this one gig, and we've been through, I mean, like, I've been touring for quite a while now, and there's just been like a long list of fantastic gigs, some very interesting moments. Like, we're in Europe last summer where like the van just broke down in the in the middle of the street, and we had no idea where we were. Um, my amazing dad was driving the car, and my amazing band members were being so helpful, like pulling out Google Maps. But at that point, we'd basically driven for like 45 minutes without cell service, and we were just like driving around the mountains. We were on the way to a gig, and then like the car just started to freak out and kept blinking this light that said blue. So there was something wrong with the fuel. Like, we were out of fuel, but then also it kept saying blue. So everybody was. I can't. Wait, I have to read some of these comments. I can't get me no saxification. Wow, that is great. Clayton is saying punna sax. You guys, yes, yes, yes. Um, are we ready to have fun, Diego? All right, guys. I'm guys and gals. I am reading these. These are fantastic. So, anyways, we broke down in the middle of the road, and we were late to my sound check, and I had to call the promoter and tell him. And this incredibly sweet guy who runs the club literally drove to where we were and picked up me and the band, drove us back to the club, dropped us off, and he also this producer also happened to be doing all the sound for that night. And he literally was like, make yourself comfortable. This is the soundboard. Try to figure it out. The microphones are over there. And I'm going to go back and get Grace's dad and drive him to get some fuel so that we can fuel the car. And apparently blue is like a special type of diesel fuel for the car that we didn't realize that we needed. And we weren't told that we needed it when we rented the car in Italy. Before we got picked up by this incredibly sweet producer man and the one who was running the club, there was also like 4 guys who just came out. They saw the car had broke down and literally were just trying to help us. And they didn't speak a word of English, and we didn't speak any Italian. And it was amazing. They were just like we were playing charades, and it was raining, and they were just like out there trying to help us. Total language barrier. Everybody was looking on their phones trying to figure out what the hell blue meant and these flashing lights. And they were so sweet. I mean, it was just one of those moments where it's a very stressful moment, and these guys came out to help. They're complete strangers, and they kept bringing their friends, and like more and more of them came out to the street to try to help us figure out what was wrong with the car. And then this promoter came, pick us up, and then opened up his whole house to us, and that was a beautiful road story. There's some great ones coming. I've grown accustomed to your sax, like breathing out and breathing in. That one? Do 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 do. So I think one of the reasons why touring is constantly interesting and constantly challenging is because there's a lot of things that arise while being in different cities and different circumstances that I hadn't planned for. And the one other road story that I thought of when this question came up about what is one of the toughest things that has happened on the road, I remember there was a festival that my band was playing, and it was in the thick of the summer. Maybe it was 2 summers ago. I can't quite remember where we were. Maybe my mom or dad would remember. And literally, we were playing in this outdoor festival, and the stage was facing the sun, and there was no shaded area. And it was like the hottest part of the day. It was the afternoon, and I have never played a gig where I actually thought I was going to pass out. This is the only one that I was very close to just falling over. And I think my saxophone was kind of broken in that gig too. So I remember I was like huffing and puffing like mad, like way more than usual. Um because literally I didn't realize my saxophone was kind of broken. And I actually had to walk off stage during other people's solos to just get some relief and some shade. And I also remember that's the only gig that I've ever seen my drummer, Ross, and he like sweat through his shirt and his pants. It was crazy. He was like his shirt was another shade darker. And he also looked like he was about to pass out. And I think we all just kind of walked off stage just in a complete daze and probably just drank gallons of water. Um, that was definitely one of the craziest gigs as far as like, and we played a really fun set. It was great. It's just, and then we kind of collapsed afterwards in the lobby. And I looked at Ross, who is like one of the most hardcore. He does like CrossFit and runs 7 miles, and I've never seen him worn out. And he was just, I was like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Wow, that was an interesting road story. But for the most part, touring is always so much fun and smooth sailing. Those are a couple that came to mind with that question. And I think the best thing to do in those situations where there's something unexpected is try to improvise in the moment. And there have been so many moments that I've literally met new friends just through trying to figure out a problem or a challenging thing or whatever it may be in the moment. It's a beautiful thing to make new friends in new situations. Oh, right. That was the Richmond Jazz Festival in 2017. Thanks, Mom. You remembered. Okay, so we have a few more puns coming in. Hi, Jorge. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are the best sax I've ever had. You are coming across as a sax addict. Glenn, are we drinking red wine tonight? Asking for a friend. I think we should drink red wine tonight. I would totally pop it open, the wine, if it was near me. But then I'd have to leave you. So I cannot even begin to tell you guys how much I'm enjoying your company. And it is so much fun live streaming with all of you. I actually have to sign off very soon because I am taking a lesson right after this, and I'm gonna finish up some covers here in the studio before it gets too late. My neighbor doesn't like it when I play later than 10 o'clock, which I totally understand. Actually, I think that's for the best. I only did that once. I was playing really quietly. I'm not a disrespectful neighbor most of the time. So here we go, friends. I'm going to play a final song, and we're going to say goodnight. I'll see you guys next weekend. And I'm glad that some of you joined us a little bit later in the game. It's so nice to have you on live. Oh, that's so sweet. These Twitch comments are so sweet. You guys are very kind. And what can I say? I'm blown away that like a few, the few of you who are on have like stayed on for this whole stream. Because I know a lot of people watch them after the fact, but they stay up on YouTube and on Facebook. And all of my friends who've been watching live, next week, let's all just invite one friend in. Well, you can invite more than one friend in, but I think it's really fun to be with you guys live. So if you can just pass this on to, like, literally after the live stream, if you message a friend being like, hey, you should come hang out with us on this live stream, that would be awesome. We can spread the sax puns around. Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Tolliver, thank you. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to sign off with a song. And what do you guys want to hear? What can we play? Wow, Michael, you're at the airport. Oh, my goodness. Here's more sound effects. That's such a hypey one. Hey. Hey. Okay, I'm done. Let's see. This program is a saxes. Yes. Susan, I will actually be in Massachusetts on November 30th and December 1st in Natick, Mass. Hope to be back to Boston soon. That's where I grew up. But yeah, that's gonna be my next show in Massachusetts. So I hope you can come to that. Okay, here we go, friends. I am going to sign off with a little something. My mom wants to hear a little blues for Harry Bosch. My friends, I will see you next weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sending much love to all of you. Sending much laughter and sax puns back at you. And I'll talk to you all soon. Much love. Ciao for now.